Hello, and welcome to another week of Burning Hearts, our 2026 Bible reading plan. This week we are wrapping up the Gospel of Mark, chapters 13 through 16, and then we're also starting Genesis, selections from Genesis, not the whole thing. We'll talk about Genesis next week, all right? But today, I just want to focus on the end of the Gospel of Mark. This whole reading plan is about hearing what Jesus says or hearing what God says in Scripture, looking at Jesus' example and seeing how we can put it into practice, as Jesus says, how we can act on it. And these last few chapters in the Gospel of Mark invite us to look at Jesus as the King who gives his life to save others. And it is the model that has been set up for us, and it's the model throughout the Gospel of Mark that we've seen, and it is the path that we're meant to go. It's the direction that we're meant to go. I mean, Jesus literally says, if anyone wants to come after me, let them deny themselves, take up their cross. That's what Jesus does, and follow me. That's what we're called to. One of the things that I find so compelling about these last few chapters of the Gospel of Mark is all of these moments where Jesus would have had the opportunity to save himself, and he doesn't. He has the opportunity to not say what he does to, like, the religious leaders, for instance, and he could have saved himself, or to say something different to Pilate and save himself. But it kind of comes to a head in chapter 15, where he actually gets crucified and actually dies, where it says in there that the people, like, once he's crucified, they're deriding him, right? Saying, aha, you who would destroy the temple and build it in 3 days, save yourself and come down from the cross. And then the chief priests and scribes and those mocking him, he saved others, he cannot save himself. Let this Messiah, this King of Israel, come down from the cross now so that we may see and believe. And the whole point that, like, Mark is writing this and putting this all together to show us that in the eyes of the world and in the leaders, what real power, what real divinity, what a real king would do is save himself. And what Jesus is showing us is what real power is, what real divinity is, and what a real king does. And he doesn't save himself, he saves others by giving himself. And this is the essential, when it comes down to it, this is the core of what it looks like to follow Jesus, to give yourself for the sake of others. The word that the New Testament uses to describe this dynamic is love, right? It is to put others first. It's to give yourself for the sake of others. It's to sacrifice yourself for the sake of others. It's to lift others up even if you go down. This is the heart of the New Testament. It's the heart of what Jesus had to teach. It is the heart of what Paul drove to again and again, and it is what Jesus shows. I mean, this is what love is, as John tells us in one of his letters. So as you're reading this week, I invite you to look at Jesus' example as this is what self-giving love looks like. And then the question that we're called to ask is, if that's what love is, how do we put it into practice? Where are the opportunities in my marriage, with my kids, with the people who I interact with in my workplace? Where can I put others first? Where can I put aside what I want and go ahead with what they want? Where can I let them win, basically, and I lose? Like, where can I lay down my life for the sake of someone else? That's what we're called to. That's what we're called to put into practice. Ultimately, doing that, acting on that, is the foundation that we're building our houses on. So have a great week of reading, and I will talk to you again soon.